What would you do if I sang out of tune?
Hello and welcome to this week's exciting build, which is inspired by my childhood in Arusha.
Would you stand up and walk out on me?
Which is 100 miles from the Serengeti and all its wonders.
Lend me your ears and I'll
Take you on a safari in more ways than one, in my attempt to make the Serengeti National Park. What sparked this idea was when Lego came out with this tweaker and this tree. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know I know nothing about making trees and I should just stay out of it. But I feel this tree is a bit small, or the giraffe is a bit big. Either way, they're mocking me with this tree. And also I wanted to change the animals. I mean, I don't like these asses. These appendages attached to the limbs. Am I the only one annoyed by this? I get that it becomes a lot more posable, but do we really need a Superman giraffe? Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm just gonna jot that down for next time. So the idea this week was to have a safari park with a couple of animals, like a giraffe nipping on a big tree and 4, 3, 5 more animals. I had a whole list, but I'm getting ahead of myself. First, I had to make the landscape and raise the whole thing up one brick, and I don't know why people do this. I guess it looks better and it gives a good frame and strength to the whole thing, and you're literally putting the whole thing on a pedestal, where all good pretentious things should be. Now, I didn't have enough brown colors to cover the whole ground, so I used a lot of smaller pieces just to put the final touches on, and I think it actually looks better with more color variant. But the ground wasn't really the problem. Not even the tree was the problem. I mean, it was a problem, but I was fully expecting that. What I wasn't expecting was the animals to be this big of a problem. Now, I don't know if this sounds right to you, but it took me 4 days, or in actual work hours, 6 to 8 hours, maybe a little bit more, to make just one decent animal. I also wasted a whole day trying to change the existing giraffe into a smaller one. It was just a terrible idea from the get-go. Because once I got this far, I just couldn't figure out how to make the neck. Now, I don't know how you make MOCs, so I'm just gonna have to tell you how I do it, and be sure to let me know if there's a better way, right? But I find myself either going straight to a specific brick in a box I know I have, or in a shape I think I have, I know in a box. But that all depends heavily on my past knowledge, you know? Because I can only use what I know, what is where, what is what. So if I don't know where is what, I'm just straight out of luck. So in other words, if I want to actually try something new or something I haven't tried before, I go to my mix box. Now this box is all the broken up old MOCs and sets that I haven't squared away yet, and I cannot recognize that this is a problem, but it feels that it should be, because I'll be searching for that one piece that'll just make sense and tie the whole MOC together, and I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know it's there, and I'm searching, and I cannot think of reality when I'm not searching and looking for that one brick, and I'm trying and I'm looking, and maybe the same one will fit different ways, but I'm looking and I'm searching, and I lost all sense of time. And then I find it, and life gives meaning, and I'm rejoiced in the... No, that's not the brick I'm looking for. And once again, I'm dug back down into the Lego hole. Moving on to the gritty, grotty tree, I wanted to make... The only criteria I had for it was to reach the giraffe. That's it. And building this high was really difficult. Ironically, I didn't use the skeleton here. Well, it got handy in the leaves and the branches. I guess you can't really see it here, but there were a lot of grey branches, most of them, so it didn't really fit. And the fact that it's not an acacia tree also sucks. The bottom layer here didn't have the desired effect. I don't even know what I was thinking having these sharp corners here. The effect midway though is pretty decent. Not up close, but if you take a step back it looks like the bark of a wild tree. The plumage on the other hand is a completely other story. I just say this is a fail. Hands down, dog out, butt in, not good, that's what I'm trying to say. It's real difficult to make a tree, I think. Real trees are skinny and tall and reach the heavens almost, with even skinnier branches. What can I say? I'm just not equipped to handle these branches. I did though manage to change the acacia tree into a Bao Bao tree. I do think this qualifies as an illegal move. I just placed some of these in between and on top just to make it look fuller. I think it needed that, and clipping all these together is a very delicate task, where this is a lot more simpler. And speaking of simple, I did manage to make an acacia tree. Will you look at that? I went back to the basics and just thought, you know what, let me just try some 2s and 4s and try and get the shape. And before I knew it, I was like, wow, it's that simple. Look at that. Sometimes I just can't believe it takes me so long to come up with something so simple. I guess that's a good reminder that this channel is called Learn to Lego, which is what I'm doing, so it's not all gonna be gold or make sense. Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Your channel is called L to L Lego, right? Yeah. So the L already stands for Lego. So your channel is actually called Learn to Lego. Yeah, what's your point? I'm just letting you know. So these trees and animals took so long that I'm gonna have to split this video in 2 and hope to see you next week for the exciting conclusion of the Serengeti National Park. Thanks for watching, hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you later. Cheers, bye.